Hello and welcome. Today we're putting together the ultimate family toolkit. And no, I'm not talking about hammers or wrenches. I'm talking about something way more powerful, the knowledge to save a life. These are the absolute basics, the skills every single person should have because you just never know when you'll be the one who has to step up and act.
It's a terrifying thought, right? An emergency strikes out of nowhere. But the difference between panic and life-saving action really just comes down to one thing: preparation. So let's make sure you're prepared.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? When disaster hits, our first instinct can be to panic, and in that panic, we can miss that golden window for rescue. We're talking about a window that might only be a few minutes long. So our goal today is simple: to replace that panic with a clear, confident plan.
Okay, section 1. Before you do anything, before you lay a hand on anyone, the very first response has to happen right here in your mind. Just taking one deep breath, staying calm, and sizing up the situation. That is the single most important first step. A clear head is what leads to smart, effective, life-saving actions.
So, what are we looking for? The absolute fundamental signs of life. And the easiest way to remember is with the ABCs. A is for airway. Is it clear? B is for breathing. Can you see their chest rising and falling? And C is for circulation. Do they have a pulse? This simple check, ABCs, is the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next.
All right, let's get hands-on. When someone is unconscious, the most immediate, #1 danger is actually their own tongue blocking their airway. So our first job is to clear that path so they can get air. Here's exactly how to do it.
This is called the head tilt chin lift. I know, it seems almost too simple, but it is incredibly effective. See, when someone's unconscious, all their muscles relax, including their tongue, which can flop back and block their throat. By tilting their head back and lifting the chin, you physically pull the tongue forward and open that airway. It's a tiny move with a huge, life-saving impact.
Okay, with the airway open, now you need to check if they're actually breathing. And for the next 10 seconds, you're going to use 3 of your senses. You're going to look for their chest rising and falling. You're going to listen for the sound of air near their mouth. And you're going to feel for their breath on your cheek. If you don't see, hear, or feel anything after 10 seconds, they are not breathing.
Next up, circulation. We need to find a pulse. The quickest and most reliable one to find is the carotid artery, right there in the neck. Just find the person's Adam's apple with 2 fingers, then slide them over into that soft groove on the side of their neck. Press gently and feel for that steady beat for about 5 to 10 seconds. If you feel that pulse, you know the heart is still pumping blood.
So, what if you find a pulse, but they're definitely not breathing? What does that mean? It means their heart is still beating, but their lungs have stopped working. In this case, your job is to get oxygen into their body for them, and this is where rescue breaths become absolutely critical. The steps here are really logical if you think about it. You keep that airway open, you pinch the nose so the air doesn't escape, and you make a tight seal with your mouth. Give a steady 1-second breath, just enough to see the chest gently rise. Then let it fall and give one more. That's it. You are literally breathing for them. But what if there's no breathing and no pulse? Okay, this is the most critical scenario you can face. This is cardiac arrest. The heart has stopped. Your job now is to become their heart, to manually pump blood through their body to keep the brain alive with chest compressions. Now, your technique here is everything. You're not using your arm muscles. You're using your body weight. Get your shoulders directly over your hands, lock your elbows straight, and push straight down. The goal is simple: push hard and push fast to keep that blood moving to the brain.
Now, let's talk about the rhythm, the numbers. Now, for years, the guideline was this number, 15. You might have even learned it this way, 15 compression,
Followed by 2 rescue breaths. But science moves on, and research has shown us that keeping the blood circulating is the absolute top priority. So today, the universal standard has changed. The magic number is now 30 compressions for every 2 breaths. Remember that cycle: 30 compressions, 2 breaths, over and over. That's modern CPR.
All right, let's shift gears to a different scenario. What if the person is unconscious, but they are breathing and they have a pulse? Here, your goal is totally different. You just need to protect them and keep their airways safe while you wait for help. And for that, we use the recovery position.
By following these steps and rolling the person onto their side, you're doing 2 really important things. First, you're letting gravity do the work of keeping their tongue from falling back and blocking their airway. And second, if they happen to vomit, it ensures the fluid drains out of their mouth instead of going into their lungs. It is simply the safest position for an unconscious but breathing person. So, we've built up your mental toolkit.
all the critical skills you need to have ready in your head. But being truly prepared also means having the physical tools ready to go. So let's talk about building that essential first aid kit that every single home should have.
You don't need to overthink it. Your kit should cover 4 basic areas. You need wound care, things like bandages and antiseptic wipes to clean and cover cuts. You need different types of bandages, like elastic ones for sprains or triangular ones for a sling. You definitely need some basic tools, like scissors and tweezers. And finally, just a few key medications, for pain relief or allergic reactions. Just having this stuff organized and easy to find is a total game changer.
And that's it. You now have the skills to assess a scene, to open an airway, to breathe for someone, and to keep their blood flowing. This knowledge isn't just for paramedics anymore. It's yours. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it? What's the one small step you'll take this week to turn this knowledge into true preparedness? Because the life you save might just be someone you love.